All right, YouTube fam, buckle up, because we're about to embark on an epic journey that goes far beyond the history books and dusty archives. Today we're not just telling a story, we're peeling back the layers of a life lived under an almost unimaginable spotlight, a life filled with audacious personal choices, quiet acts of defiance, and an unyielding spirit that truly defied the conventions of what it meant to be a presidential daughter. Forget everything you thought you knew, because Luci Baines Johnson isn't just a historical footnote. She's a sprawling saga, a fearless trailblazer, and a woman who carved out her own destiny amidst the grandeur and immense pressures of the White House. So, grab your comfiest seat, get your popcorn ready, smash that like button, and let's really unravel the deeply fascinating, incredibly human narrative of a life that was anything but ordinary. Born as Luci Baines Johnson on July 2, 1947, in the very heart of Washington, D.C., Luci entered a world already swirling with the potent currents of power, prestige, and political machinations. Her birthplace itself was symbolic, a direct link to the epicenter of American governance. She was the youngest and arguably the most spirited daughter of none other than the 36th President of the United States, Lyndon B. Johnson, a towering figure in American political history, and the elegant, iconic First Lady, Lady Bird Johnson, whose grace and dedication to public service left an indelible mark. Imagine for a moment growing up with a literal front row seat to history, your formative years punctuated not just by childhood games, but by high-stakes policy debates, the hushed intensity of diplomatic dinners, and the constant hum of global events unfolding just outside your bedroom door. Her older sister, Linda Bird Johnson, completed this truly unique family unit. A seemingly innocuous detail that would later gain a quiet significance was the family's shared initials, LBJ. Both Lyndon B. Johnson and Lady Bird Johnson bore these initials, and they extended this tradition to their daughters, naming them Linda Bird and Luci Baines. This naming convention, while perhaps intended as a sign of familial unity and pride, would later become a subtle yet powerful point of quiet rebellion for young Luci, the first hint of her fiercely independent spirit. From an incredibly early age, it became strikingly clear that Luci's path was destined to be anything but conventional, despite her privileged upbringing. While many might understandably assume a life of relative leisure and genteel pursuits for a president's daughter, Luci was unequivocally driven by an innate curiosity and a profound thirst for knowledge. She embarked on a robust pursuit of higher education, seeking intellectual engagement and personal growth that transcended the expectations often placed upon someone of her stature. Her academic journey led her through a series of prestigious institutions, each contributing to her broad intellectual development. She attended Georgetown University, then the University of Texas, and finally, in a testament to her enduring commitment to learning, St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. It was there, remarkably, in 1997 that she earned her Bachelor of Liberal Studies degree with a focused concentration in communication. Take a moment to truly absorb that. A woman born into such an exclusive and privileged world, who had already experienced so much, still felt a compelling need to pursue formal education later in life. This wasn't merely about collecting degrees for show. It was a profound demonstration of genuine intellectual curiosity, a deep-seated commitment to continuous personal growth, and a clear desire to engage with the world on her own evolving terms. It was, in many ways, an active pursuit of her own distinct voice, one that she consciously sought to cultivate outside the formidable shadow of the White House and the immense legacy of her family name. And speaking of unique experiences within that hallowed residence, consider this fascinating detail. In 1966, Luci honed her culinary skills under the direct tutelage of Zephyr Wright, the esteemed White House chef for the Johnson family. This might seem like a small, almost trivial detail, but it paints a truly vivid picture of a young woman experiencing an extraordinary blend of the historical and the surprisingly domestic within the nation's most famous residence. It humanizes her, showing a side of her life that was both grand and remarkably grounded. Now let's zoom in on something seemingly minor, yet profoundly indicative of Luci's independent spirit: her name. Her birth name was Luci, simple, classic, and perfectly fitting for a presidential daughter. Yet, as she blossomed into a teenager, Luci made a deliberate, almost audacious flourish, an act of quiet defiance that only a spirited young woman could pull off against the most powerful man in the free world. She changed the spelling of her name to Luci. This wasn't some accidental misspelling or youthful whim. It was a conscious, deliberate, and undeniably rebellious act. Both her parents, Lyndon B. Johnson and Lady Bird Johnson, famously shared the LBJ initials, a powerful branding for their political dynasty. They had extended this tradition to their daughters, naming them Linda Bird and Luci Baines, thus ensuring that all four family members shared those recognizable initials. For Luci, perhaps this subtle alteration of a single letter was her quiet way of carving out her own distinct identity, a small but profoundly significant declaration of individuality in a life where so much of her existence was already inextricably defined by her family's immense legacy. It's precisely this kind of subtle defiance, this assertion of personal will, that makes a public figure truly compelling, proving that even within the seemingly inescapable confines of immense public scrutiny, a personal spirit can find its own unique, powerful expression. However, at the tender and impressionable age of 18, Luci took an even more significant and publicly impactful step. She converted to Roman Catholicism. This wasn't a quiet, private, personal decision confined to her own heart and home. Far from it. Her request for and subsequent reception of a conditional baptism became a major news story, sparking intense public debate and drawing significant attention. Why such a stir? Because at that time, Catholic doctrine generally did not require a second baptism for Christians who had already been baptized with the Trinitarian formula and water, as was the practice in many Protestant denominations, including Methodism. This singular act sparked a very public outcry from prominent Methodist leaders, creating a theological and public relations kerfuffle that dominated headlines. Imagine for a moment being a mere 18-year-old, navigating the profoundly personal and often complex nuances of your faith, and having your deeply intimate spiritual decision dissected and debated on a national stage. It speaks volumes not only about the constant, unrelenting public gaze she endured, simply by virtue of her lineage, but also about her profound conviction and her unwavering willingness to stand firmly by her beliefs, even when those beliefs caused significant controversy and public consternation. This wasn't an act calculated for attention or a publicity stunt. It was, by all accounts, a genuine and heartfelt spiritual exploration played out in a very bright, very public arena, highlighting her deep personal integrity. And then there was a singular cataclysmic moment that not only irrevocably shaped Luci's young life, but fundamentally altered the course of the entire American nation. The horrific assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963. Luci was a mere 16 years old, still very much a child, attending a Spanish class at the National Cathedral School in Washington, D.C., when the devastating news broke. Try to truly imagine the visceral shock, the profound confusion, the sheer paralyzing terror of hearing such an unimaginable and devastating event unfold in real time, while simultaneously grappling with the terrifying uncertainty of not knowing if your own father, then the Vice President of the United States, was safe, or if he too had been targeted. She initially had absolutely no idea if her father had been hurt, if he was in danger, or even if he was alive. The overwhelming relief, which quickly morphed into the stark, crushing reality of their new world, came just a few harrowing hours later when grim-faced Secret Service agents appeared on her school campus. It was then, amidst the chaos and the whispers, that she fully grasped the gravity of the situation. Her father had been sworn in as the 36th President of the United States, literally moments after Kennedy's death aboard Air Force One. This wasn't just a national tragedy of epic proportions. It was an intensely, profoundly personal one that thrust her entire family into the highest, most demanding office in the land, all under the most heartbreaking and traumatic of circumstances. It instantly and irrevocably changed the entire trajectory of her young life, transitioning her from the relatively predictable role of a vice president's daughter to the intensely scrutinized, demanding position of the daughter of the president of a grieving, shell-shocked nation, all while she was still navigating the turbulent waters of adolescence. This harrowing period undoubtedly left an indelible and deep mark on her psyche, fundamentally shaping her nascent perspectives on leadership, on the profound weight of public service, and on the terrifying fragility of life itself. Luci's academic pursuits continued to intertwine with her burgeoning personal life in intriguing and often challenging ways. She briefly attended Georgetown University's prestigious School of Nursing and Health Studies, driven by a desire to help others. However, her time there was cut short in 1966 due to a university policy that prohibited married students from attending. This particular institutional constraint directly led to another pivotal and highly publicized moment in her life, her first marriage. On August 6, 1966, Luci Johnson married Patrick John Nugent, born in 1943, an Air National Guardsman. And this, my friends, was no ordinary wedding ceremony tucked away from public view. It was a veritable spectacle, a national event of immense proportions that captivated an entire nation. Their wedding was not just covered by the news. It was televised live, a groundbreaking event for its time, captivating an astonishing 55 million viewers. Pause for a moment and consider the sheer magnitude of that viewership in today's terms. That's viewership comparable to a Super Bowl for a wedding. The event wasn't confined to television screens. It was also prominently featured on the highly coveted cover of Life magazine's August 19th, 1966 issue, cementing its place in the cultural zeitgeist. This wasn't merely the union of two individuals exchanging vows. It was a profound cultural phenomenon, a rare moment of collective joy, hope, and celebration. For a nation still grappling with the lingering shadows of political upheaval and social unrest from the assassination of President Kennedy just a few years prior, the sheer scale of public interest in her personal life at such a remarkably young age is almost unfathomable even today, underscoring the unique, intense, and often suffocating scrutiny faced by those intimately connected to the orbit of the American presidency. Her wedding became a symbol, a brief respite, and a public spectacle all at once. Together, Luci and Patrick embarked on their family journey, bringing 4 children into the world, each adding another layer to their evolving lives. Their children included Patrick Lyndon, born in 1967, carrying on a piece of his grandfather's distinguished name, Nicole Marie, born in 1970, Rebecca Johnson, born in 1974, and Claudia Taylor Nugent, born in 1976, named after her beloved maternal grandmother, Lady Bird Johnson, whose given name was Claudia Alta Taylor. For a period, their life together, seen through the lens of public perception, seemed to embody a version of the American dream, albeit one lived under an extraordinary and unforgiving microscope. However, as is so often the case with lives lived under such intense public scrutiny, personal struggles eventually and inevitably came to light. The couple's journey together reached its conclusion when they divorced in August 1979, adding another layer of profound complexity and a unique dimension to their separation. Their marriage was also annulled by the Roman Catholic Church in that same month, August 1979. This ecclesiastical annulment, a separate process distinct from the civil divorce, further underscores the deep significance of her Catholic faith in Luci's life and her unwavering adherence to its doctrines and principles, even in moments of profound personal difficulty. This detail offers a rare glimpse into the private pain, the spiritual seeking, and the ultimate resolution of a very public relationship, showcasing Luci's commitment to her deeply held religious convictions. But Luci Baines Johnson, as her life story consistently reveals, is defined by her indomitable spirit and her remarkable resilience. Her narrative certainly did not end with the dissolution of her first marriage. Instead, it gracefully and powerfully evolved into a new, vibrant chapter. On March 3, 1984, she found love once more and embarked on her second marriage, this time to Ian J. Turpin, born in 1944. Ian was a distinguished Scottish-born Canadian financier, and their partnership quickly blossomed, proving to be both personally fulfilling and professionally synergistic. He became the esteemed chairman of LBJ Asset Management Partners, strategically overseeing the family's financial interests and investments at the historic LBJ Ranch, thereby intertwining their lives even more deeply with her family's profound and enduring legacy. Through this loving and supportive marriage, Luci also gained a stepchild, expanding her family unit and embracing new familial bonds. This second meaningful chapter in her personal life vividly highlights her extraordinary ability to find enduring happiness and to courageously build a new, fulfilling life after navigating significant personal changes and challenges. It stands as a powerful testament to her inherent strength, unwavering determination, and profound capacity for resilience. Life, however, often throws unexpected and daunting curveballs, even at those who appear to have it all, and even at those who seem larger than life itself. In April 2010, Luci Johnson faced a significant and life-threatening health challenge that brought her face-to-face with human vulnerability. She was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, also known as Landry's paralysis, a rare, serious, and potentially debilitating autoimmune disorder that directly affects the peripheral nervous system, leading to muscle weakness and paralysis. Imagine the profound fear, the agonizing uncertainty, and the chilling realization when your own immune system, designed to protect you, suddenly turns against your very own body. She was immediately admitted to the prestigious and renowned Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, to begin urgent and intensive treatment for this complex condition. This was undoubtedly a critical and terrifying period for her and her family. Yet true to her consistently resilient nature, Luci made a remarkable and inspiring recovery. She returned to Austin in May 2010, having overcome the most severe aspects of the syndrome. Her physician, in a testament to her progress, described her case as less severe than usual And with persistent effort and top-tier medical care, she ultimately made a full and complete recovery. This health scare serves as a powerful, poignant reminder that even those who appear to stand above the fray, those connected to the highest echelons of power, face the same very human vulnerabilities and health battles as anyone else. Her impressive recovery is a testament not only to her inner fortitude and unwavering spirit, but also to the benefit of access to excellent medical care, and it profoundly humanizes her remarkable journey, showcasing a woman who has navigated not only the immense pressures of public life, but also incredibly personal battles with her own health. Since 1993, Luci Johnson has held the distinguished position of chairperson of the board and manager of LBJ Asset Management Partners. In this crucial role, she effectively oversees and strategically manages her family's extensive financial interests and diverse investments. This is far from being a mere figurehead role. It demands astute business acumen, sharp financial insight, and a clear strategic vision, proving her capabilities extend far beyond her presidential lineage. But her entrepreneurial spirit and drive don't stop there. She is also the highly engaged chairperson of the Board of Business Suites, a prominent national operator of executive offices. This successful company she adeptly co-founded with her husband Ian Turpin back in 1989, demonstrating her foresight and collaborative spirit in the business world. These significant roles firmly establish her as a dynamic and highly capable businesswoman, actively involved in building and managing successful enterprises, proving her profound capabilities and strategic leadership skills. Beyond the demanding corporate world, Luci Baines Johnson is a deeply dedicated and compassionate philanthropist and a highly respected civic leader, embodying a profound commitment to public service. She serves with distinction as a board member of the LBJ Foundation, actively ensuring that her family's enduring legacy of public service, historical preservation, and educational initiatives continues to thrive for future generations. Her philanthropic endeavors are extensive and far-reaching, touching numerous vital causes. She has been a tireless and highly effective fundraiser for a multitude of civic boards, dedicating her time and resources to impactful organizations. Notably, she has been a fervent champion of the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center, an organization deeply connected to her beloved mother's profound passion for native plants, environmental conservation, and the preservation of natural beauty. Her commitment to public health is evident through her significant contributions and active involvement with the American Heart Association, a leading organization in cardiovascular health. Her dedication to education is equally clear through her vital role as a trustee of Boston University, an esteemed academic institution. Furthermore, her profound compassion for vulnerable populations is powerfully highlighted by her dedicated service on the advisory board of the Center for Battered Women, an organization providing critical support and refuge. These are not merely honorary titles. They represent active, hands-on engagement, strategic oversight, and a genuine, unwavering commitment to making a tangible, positive difference in her community and across the nation, proving her lifelong dedication to others. Luci Baines Johnson's life story is, without a doubt, a compelling and deeply inspiring mosaic woven from threads of profound public duty, deeply personal struggles, and an unyielding, almost defiant determination. She was born into a life of immense, almost unimaginable privilege and constant, unrelenting scrutiny. Yet she remarkably forged her own unique and authentic path, marked by quiet yet impactful acts of rebellion, profound and deeply personal spiritual choices, and an entrepreneurial drive that propelled her to significant achievements in the business world. From the vulnerable, wide-eyed teenage daughter who witnessed a national tragedy of epic proportions, to the highly successful businesswoman and the tireless, compassionate philanthropist she is today, her journey stands as a powerful and enduring testament to the sheer force of resilience and the incredible, often underestimated power of the human spirit. She navigated the unique, intense, and often suffocating pressures of being a presidential daughter with extraordinary grace, sharp intelligence, unwavering integrity, and a distinct individuality that shone through every chapter of her life. Her life story serves as a profound and essential reminder that behind every public figure, every headline, and every historical footnote, there is a complex, multifaceted individual with their own unique triumphs, their own deeply felt heartbreaks, their own quiet battles, and their own unwavering commitments to causes greater than themselves. And that, YouTube fam, is not just a story. It's a living legacy, a powerful lesson, and a narrative that absolutely, unequivocally is worth telling, worth exploring, and worth remembering. What aspects of Luci Baines Johnson's truly incredible and unique journey resonated most deeply with you? Or perhaps, what unexpected insights did you gain about the lives of those in the highest echelons of power? Share your thoughts, reflections, and any questions you might have in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you and continue this fascinating conversation.